Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.
Oh my God, it's a shank. He decided to re-tee. That's a shank. Oh, man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of the Two-Way Miss podcast. Thank you, as always, for joining us wherever, whenever you might be listening and or watching. We're very close to the 50 subscribers on YouTube, so if you're not watching, you should. You'll find the links in the show description below. As always, I am one of your hosts, Mr. Regz, and I am joined, as always, by the good buddy Banksy. Banksy, how you doing? And also, you have to tell us who this beautiful man to your right is.
I'm doing well. Yeah, this is cousin-in-law Josh from Michigan. Michigan Josh.
I was about to say, affectionately known as Michigan Josh.
Affectionately known as, yeah, and cousin-in-law as long as, you know, she plays her cards right, obviously. So, he's here to stay no matter what.
There you go.
So welcome.
That's right. I know you're a avid listener, so thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
From the beginning. What episode is this, Regz?
Oh man, this is episode number 60 on the dot.
Ooh, I thought so. Perfect. And we are, setting-wise, we are in the Outer Banks, in Kerala.
There you go.
We're having a great week.
A tradition for you guys. Always a good time.
Absolutely. Yeah, having a great time. You have a drink with you tonight?
Oh, of course I do. Hopefully, I mean, you guys just are made of alcohol for this week, so.
Yeah.
I was about to say, will Uncle Mitch be popping in anytime soon? If he's just going to fly onto the camera?
You never know. You never know.
Wouldn't that be a treat?
That is truly a wild card.
All right, fantastic.
Where
So that's something.
Pop out from.
That's something to look forward to. So we'll look forward to that. All right. So we'll start by saying, my bad. Regz is bad for the preview show that should have gone up last week. I literally forgot my brother was getting married, if we're going to be completely honest with ourselves.
No, I'll back that because you were ready to play golf with me on that Friday.
I was literally like, yep, I have nothing to do. And then, oh wait, that's right. My brother gets married that day. So I kind of have some stuff to do. And then I was also had to like be down somewhere else Thursday, and Wednesday was getting ready for that. So on me for no US Open preview pod. I don't think either of us had Whyndam Clarks as our picks. So, you know,
dude, I don't even know.
If you were still betting against all our picks, you won something. So good for you. Would you like to know who we actually picked?
Yeah, because I don't even remember.
I know. You're going to really love this one. So
bad.
I picked Matty Fitz to repeat.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was bad.
And you picked Victor Hovland.
Damn it. Damn it.
So, as always, pristine picks by us. You know, as we say many, many times, if you're going to bet on anything we say on this show, just bet anyone else.
Anybody else.
And that's all that matters. Yep.
That's usually what I do.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's probably won you money in the long run. So good for you. But I did watch a good portion of this as I was just kind of sitting around on Thursday and Friday waiting for wedding things to happen. So I was watching in the hotel room a fair amount of the first 2 days. And then luckily, with it being Father's Day, I was able to catch. I didn't really start watching till the last two groups went off because I'm like, I just don't care about anyone else. I just want to see what the last two groups do. So that's what I did. I waited till about 5 o'clock and then I started watching. And I watched almost all of it. So I did. I did pull that Father's Day card to take control of the television from the kids. So, I mean, I guess we have to talk about Whyndam Clarks first. Like, again, Josh knows this about us. We don't really talk about the people we don't care about because, like, who cares? Like, is Whyndam Clarks probably going to make the rider team? Sure. Is he going to, like, win a bunch more majors? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, who the hell knows? Do you give him a chance to win any more majors?
I don't know. We can listen to Paul Azinger call him a cocky golfer for another 17 times.
Yeah, Paul's tough. If we're gonna be honest, Paul's tough.
That's rough. We'll talk about him later. I don't know I don't know who he is. Like, I don't know. I've heard his name before, but
He just won.
I mean,
What did he win? He won something early. He won Travelers, or no? Travelers is next week. He won. What did he win?
he won something. It doesn't matter. But,
I'm gonna look it up just so we sound semi-informed.
you know, he played well on Sunday. Had back-to-back bogeys late in the 9, and I don't think any of the other players, specifically Rory, capitalized on those back-to-back bogeys that Clark won, and he played 18 well. I mean, that's just got to be. That's still a pressure-packed, like, 18th hole.
I mean, he did kind of hit his worst drive of the entire day, and just because that fairway is so wide,
yeah,
he got away with it. Like, it was terrible.
It was a horrible drive.
Yeah,
but but the second he hit a really good second shot and closed the deal.
I mean, he did. The shot into 14, that 3-wood into like that little 10-yard run up, was just like freaking nails. Like, it was so good. Just putting a cut on that ball and watching it like just float down perfectly, like that was a ballsy shot. Gives 2 back, 15 and 16, and then look, all he has, like, again, when Rory isn't really doing anything to make him sweat.
Well, it's the same shit Rory pulled at the Open last year.
So, so funnily enough, I was listening to the No Laying Up guys, and their guy they had at the tournament said the first thing Rory said to, like, someone that he met, like, right after scoring, was he said it was St. Andrews all over again.
Yeah.
Where he just couldn't.
And you cannot, like, Rory's strength of his entire career and life and game is par 5 scoring. With the way he hits the ball off the tee. And to come away with a par, again, I use the words, it's unacceptable.
Yeah. And to bogey 14 coming down the stretch, which is a par 5.
It's unacceptable.
I mean, when has he ever had a good pitch shot?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Like that, the fact that he got a free drop out of that bunker, I was like, I said the tournament's over. I said, that's it. Like, just give him the trophy now because Rory's done. He's gonna double this hole at best with whatever lie he just caught in that bunker.
Josh and I have talked about this a couple times this week. Like, the amount of free drops and ridiculous bullshit, how these players come out with clean looks and clean lies in the holes is insane.
Yeah, that could be an entire podcast on the drops that these guys get.
God forbid there's ever a grandstands, because that's just a free drop right there.
It's a backboard, yeah, just a backboard. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's like, listen, did Whyndam Clark play well enough to win the tournament? Yes. I think we can say that flat out. Like, he played well enough in the final round of a U.S. Open to win. I think he did. Do I also think it can be true that Rory kind of had plenty that he could have done and just didn't get it done? Like, yes, that can also be true. I just don't know. I don't know. I'm torn between feeling good for the guy, like his first major, comes out and does it at a U.S. Open, after 2 guys shoot a opening round scoring record at a U.S. Open, and he still kind of comes from nowhere to win the thing with arguably the best one of the top 5, with literally a top 5 player in the world breathing down your neck and having never won one before. Like, the guy deserves some credit for being able to pull that off.
Oh, yeah. I'll give him all the credit. I have no sympathy for Rory not winning, because he needs to reassess what his mentality or game plan is when he's in contention, because we've watched the same freaking round 2 years in a row now where you have an opportunity to win a major and close a golf tournament, and you play conservative, you play weak, and you come up a couple shots short. And I think he needs to play much more aggressively and just try and
Yeah. So I had a very
win.
I had a very interesting conversation with like another dad at like a baseball practice, and he was like, "Why? Like, what's the difference if Rory's just trying to make a couple pars? Why can't he just kind of turn it on in the last 4 holes and say, okay, I need a birdie now. You know, let's just go get 1 or 2." And I tried to explain it to him by saying, if you spent your entire round of golf, let's just say just from a putting perspective, let's just say you were putting it to 8-10 feet all day long, you know, that your wedges were good enough. You're not stuffing it, but like with the firmness and things like that, there weren't a ton of people like stuffing it next to the hole. But let's just say you're playing 8 to 10 feet away. But your mindset with putting is that, okay, if I miss this putt 6 inches to the right, it's going to leave me with a 1.5 foot putt. But if I miss it, if I push it too far left or give it too much of a run and it goes 6 inches left, I'm going to have a 5-footer because it's a huge drop off to that side of the pin. So I said, if you've spent your whole day missing to the easy side of putts and not truly being aggressive to try and make birdies, it's like even the best players in the world can't just switch that on and finally be like, okay, I'm going to be fine with the 5-footer coming back, because they've spent their whole round just making 1.5-footers, 2-footers for par because they've been missing on certain sides of the cup. And I was like, if it doesn't start at hole number 1, it's not going to happen. And when you try and turn that on, that's when bogeys happen, because now you have no confidence in making those 5-foot comebackers because you haven't had to do it all day. So you miss just one of those putts, and then it gets in your head. And now instead of par and everything, you're making bogeys and you're even farther back. So it's like, I don't understand. My biggest thing is I don't understand with the way Rory was driving the golf ball. And he led the field in greens in regulation. So his wedges weren't so like as bad as we have seen. Like when his wedges are bad, he's missing greens. You know? Like that's what we've been seeing. He's not missing 15 feet. That's him playing conservatively. When his wedges are bad, he's missing greens from 110 yards away. And leaving himself maybe 40 feet or 50 feet from a cup. So I just thought in terms of his wedges and things like that, like I didn't think they were that bad. Did he hit some bad ones? Like, yes. Let's just say that. We're just going to have to accept that Rory McIlroy is not the best wedge player we've ever seen in our whole lives. But with the way he was driving the ball, you just would have thought that if he just had the better mentality when he gets up to those 10-footers, those 12-footers, like, I'm going to try and make all of these. Because I know, like, all I have to do is make the comebacker and we're fine. Like, he didn't putt that bad. He was, like, even on those long ones, he was burning a lot of edges, but he was always burning the safer edge. You know, he was always burning the edge that was going to give him the easiest par putt. Not the edge that gave him the best chance to make the putt and actually put some numbers on the board. So
I 100% agree. Like he needs to go out and just try and birdie every single.
Why is this? Why
needs
is
to be
this his mindset now? Like, do you guys have any idea why this is his mindset? He's Rory fucking McIlroy, like one of the best golfers anyone's ever seen. The way you drive the ball is like a generational talent. And to not use that same aggression that you have on the tee to then go out and try and score, like I just don't understand it. I don't understand why it's a mentality of his.
Do you have any thoughts there?
It's more so the fact of what blows my mind is how confident he is off the tee and how great he is off the tee. That why not get aggressive? You have extra strokes to save. I mean, get after it. he has potential to hit any green, any par 5 green right, green and 2. So that's get after it.
Yeah.
Make
Or
some
at least
putts.
put him a chip and a putt away from a birdie. Like he hits it so long. So what if he puts it greenside, right? He just chips and putts and then he's good.
Yeah. Make it easy on yourself.
We continue to see him have the mentality of the guys in front of me will come back. Instead of having the mentality that I'm going to go get them and I'm going to put this thing away. Like Cam Smith and Cam Young had the mentality in that Open, I'm going to blow the doors off this dude. While he's making all these pars, I'm going to make so many birdies that he's not going to catch up to me because he's not going to be able to. And like he played expecting Whyndam Clark to shoot 5 over. Instead of saying, I'm going to go out and put up a number right in front of this guy. He's going to hear the roars. He's going to hear the crowd cheering for me. He's going to hear and see every time I make a birdie because he's right behind me. And he just went out being like, oh, he'll just see me kind of ho-humming it around and he'll fall apart. And he just didn't. Like Whyndam Clark just didn't. And with the guys that he has to beat, like if Brooks is on his game, he's not doing that. If Rahm is on his game, he's not going to go out there and shoot 75. Same with Scotty. Same with all these other guys that he's supposed. Like if you're trying to beat the best players in the world, you can't expect them to go be terrible. Like you have to be the aggressor and go get it.
Yeah, but even having said that, he still had an opportunity. Whyndam had back-to-back bogeys.
Yeah, and he did nothing.
And Rory, despite everything you just said, still had a chance. And of all things, doesn't get it done on a par 5.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable.
Yeah.
And we can move on and I think we've had this same conversation now last year at this time when we talked about how he played the Open conservative.
Yeah.
So
I just don't know if there's someone that has to get in his head to say that he has to be aggressive. I saw some people talking about like that maybe he needs a caddy change to like get someone who will push him a little bit more. I don't think Rory's at that point in his life. Like I think it's up to Rory at this point.
So.
It's not up to like it's not up to his caddy and like, it's up to him.
Yeah, his caddy's his good friend. And Roy's, he's a sensitive guy. I don't think bringing somebody in to push Rory.
Yeah. No, yeah, totally with you.
I agree. I don't think it's time for a caddy change. I just think it's time for Rory to be aggressive and just if you want to win the golf tournament, go out and win the golf tournament.
If you truly want to win a couple more of these, your mentality has to change.
Correct.
Like, do we think like again? I know we reference Tiger way too much, not way too much, just enough, but we reference him a lot on this podcast.
We love to hear it.
But it's like when Tiger was his best in 2000, 2001, do you think that dude for 1 second when he stepped up to a tee, like on the first hole of a major said, I'm going to let the guy in front of me come back to me, or I'm going to let the guy I'm playing with like fall off? He was like, no, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be able to catch me.
Right. 100%.
No, I mean Rory just doesn't step on the throat when he needs to. And that's the biggest thing of it is he needs to get aggressive. The way going back to the way he gets off the tee, he can cut those corners. He can get that ball down there. He can get 50 yards a kick, as you saw.
Yeah.
At the Open this past weekend. It's get in there and you start putting those wedge shots close, and then miss high side of the hole. That's the pro side, right? Do it.
I just think it's like, I would just think the way he was hitting the ball, the way he was driving the ball was like unbelievable.
Yeah.
And like, if you want to put as much pressure on Whyndam Clark as you can, make him hear the cheers. Make him see you fist pumping as like these birdie putts go in. Like make him see something. All he saw was you walking around the golf course today.
Yeah. Where's the energy from the match, the Ryder Cup match against Patrick Reed, where he's screaming at the fans and screaming in the crowds? Like, where's that? Bring that energy to the
Again,
final
don't you
round.
think that a guy in his first final round of a major leading the tournament is going to feel a little different? Is if all he hears is roars from in front of him? Don't you think that guy has a better chance of messing up than if he just like hears nothing and he's like, okay, well, I'll just go hit my shots now because there's no pressure on me anymore.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't know why he doesn't take the mentality of like, I'm going to make this as difficult as possible on this guy.
Right.
It's just disappointing.
And
I think.
as Tiger says, if you're intimidated, that's your fucking problem.
Right. But that was his goal. Like it should be Rory's goal to intimidate these guys.
Absolutely. He should have been hitting into Wyndham's group.
Well, he couldn't. He was in front of them. But anyway, he would have had to turn around to do that. But maybe he could have done that on one hole. Maybe, just drop a ball down and
next time
drop a ball down, hit a little wedge back into him,
Maybe
All
he's
right.
just not confident in his celebrations like we saw at the Masters 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That sand shot flailing his arms.
Taking too much heat for the celebrations. I gotta keep it close to the vest here.
Listen, that dude's got enough money. He doesn't have to ever listen to anything ever again. So like, how about you just go like try and win the golf tournament? All right, let's go down the leaderboard a little bit here. Scotty, like never really was in it. It is what it
Gotta
is.
get that putter rolling again.
Got a top three.
New putter in the bag, but just
again, I think he's probably leading the tournament. He's been ball striking otherworldly, and he kind of came back to earth a little bit in this tournament, and the putter didn't fail him as much, but he wasn't striking it as well as he has been. So that's why you kind of see him at third there. Cam Smith obviously shot a 67, kind of gets back into the top five. Was putting his balls off. Jesus, was just like making everything. So if you want to relate that to St. Andrews last year, very similar. Tommy Fleetwood just hits a 63 and like backdoors into a T5. Like, I don't really care. Like, he was out of it. He wasn't even close to anything. He just goes out there on a soft golf course in the morning and shoots a 63. Congrats to Tommy on that. Minwoo Lee, couldn't have told you he was fifth. Don't think I heard his name once. I don't know if I watched more than 3 shots, if any. Ricky, after a 62, 68, goes 70, 75 on the weekend. Kind of just getting back into it, and it obviously got to him. So would have been a nice story, but
who wins another major first, Ricky Fowler or Whyndam Clark?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
This doesn't need to lead into the conversation because it's not.
No.
We don't have time for all that. But
It's a fantastic question, though. You just got. I mean, you got to think Whyndam Clark's been playing better this year and consistently. I don't know. Like, Ricky's played in a lot of major championships, man. Like, he's played in a lot of these. So,
Josh, what do you think?
I got to go with Ricky. I really do. Just he's kind of pulling that whole speed thing where speed disappeared for a little bit. And now we're starting to see his name again, and he has experience in majors. And Whyndam Clark, I mean, obviously, I guess he can close, but he needs to show this more in order for me to say, hey, yeah, it's definitely going to be one.
I'm going to go with neither of them win one. How about that?
They both never win.
They both never win another one. Yeah. I mean, Ricky doesn't have any, so Whyndam doesn't win another, and Ricky probably doesn't get any. I'm just looking down here. Rahm, like T10, shoots a 65 on Sunday. Again, not really in it from the jump.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see Dustin Johnson, not take an 8. You change that 8 into a par, and he's
after an opening round 64, it goes 70, 71, 72. I
mean, you take that 8 away, and at the time he's either tied or one shot back from the lead.
Yeah,
I do miss watching him play. I always kind of keep an eye on where he is on the.
Again, I think he has a legitimate chance if that doesn't happen. If he's in a higher group and like really sees that he can win this thing, I think he plays different. I think he
keeps his attention engaged.
Yeah.
Xander
shoots an opening round scoring record of the tournament and then goes in all the 70s to lead into that, to finish. So good for Xander.
Yeah, and we talked about that the entire time watching it because I can't stand him.
I know, man. We're not going to let
And
you get into it because you're a little drunk and that'll be bad. But like,
does this
we know how you feel
all
about
the
him.
time, all the time.
Morikawa.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Nothing really great.
What do
Cantlay
you
kind of
think-
really didn't show up.
Can we talk about the golf course? What do you think about the golf course?
So, from all the things, like I watched a couple YouTube videos leading into it, and I was excited. I thought it was cool. I thought it looked cool. I thought it was going to be like, I didn't think it was going to be a traditional US Open, but I was kind of okay with that. Like I was ready for maybe something different, for them to try something different. I think they really set this up expecting the wind to pick up in the afternoons, and it just never happened. I mean, it was cool that it kind of got baked out and the greens were firm. Like those bounces you were hearing was like they were throwing them off like a carpeted floor, on Sunday. So that was cool that like you couldn't just plug it up there with a bunch of backspin and it was going to be 6 feet from the hole. It feels like without the wind, it was tough for it to be a really, really difficult golf course. Like, I don't know. We've talked about this, but like, I don't need the winning score to be like +4. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need bogey to be like a good score. Like I don't need that to happen. I'm cool if par is a really good score.
Yeah,
And then
I
if you
know,
make
that's-
some birdies, like that's cool. I don't think 2 scoring records in the first round is great, but
no, not
that
at
was
all.
like a failure of conditions, not of the golf course.
Right. I just didn't think the course played nearly hard enough. I mean, this is like the one time a year where it's okay to trick these courses out and make it difficult. I was not impressed with the golf course and how low and how good these guys scored. I wanted to see something around even par, maybe 1 or 2 under. Like it kind of deflated
Yeah,
it
I think
a little bit for me. on
I
that
think like
first
look,
day.
if you did get in the rough, it was tough. Like that rough was not tiny. But like again,
Yeah,
you
I
didn't
know.
see a lot of
But
things.
the fairways are so big that the rough.
Well,
the
and you
guy that
also
got in the
you
rough,
didn't see a
yeah,
lot of variance because the wind never picked up. Like you didn't see a lot of guys who would hit good shots and the wind would blow it 4 yards left and then it's in the rough and now he's got to like punch out.
Yeah.
I thought the bunkers were penal, like they were hazards. I think a lot of times you saw guys in the bunkers and they didn't want to be there. At a lot of tournaments, you got guys going, I'll go in that left bunker and I'll get it close and put a putt in and we'll be fine. Like that's where I'd rather miss. I don't think you saw a lot of guys wanting to be in any of those bunkers this week. So I thought those were good. I think we just didn't see enough variance. There wasn't enough wind to provide the variance that I think would have kept the scores low. Like when you have no wind and those guys can bomb it down there and it's firm, like those par 4s that are playing 540 yards are nothing if you're getting 50 yards of roll and Rory's already carrying it 320. You know what I mean? Like it's just not, it's not ideal.
Even some of those long par 3s where it's the 290 par 3, they're taking what, a 4-iron, a 5-iron into it?
Yeah.
It's just kicking in and
254 yards. I was watching guys hit 6-iron. Like,
Yeah.
that's not real.
Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't think they did a great job displaying it on TV. I thought NBC was terrible, to be quite honest,
agreed.
all week. Like setting aside the commercial load and all that garbage, it was awful. I didn't think they did a great job of like displaying the golf course well. Like some holes didn't even have tracers on them. Like what year are we in? You know?
No, 100%.
So it's coming back here at some point in the next 20 years, so we'll be able to see it again. I really do think the wind, and it was kind of like we saw at St. Andrews with the Open last year, right? Everyone was expecting the wind to be crazy, and we got a dull week.
Yeah.
Like it's just what happened.
But at least that's a at least that's an iconic golf course, and this last week was a letdown for me.
Yeah,
I wanted
and
to
I
see,
think that like the
I
whole
wanted to
the
see
controversy with
more
the controversy with the members like buying up all the tickets, so there wasn't a
I
lot of
know.
like general public there, is really weird and kind of scummy. Again, I heard on like the No Laying Up podcast that for Sunday, the members of the country club tried to buy every ticket, every general public ticket. So it was weird in that sense. It was weird with like the vibes. Like it didn't seem there were enough people out there.
Not at all. Yeah.
So I'd like it to be handled a little differently. I'd like to see it with some wind. Obviously 262s like the Open wasn't great for a US Open.
In 20 minutes.
Yeah. So like again, my expectations coming off watching some YouTube videos on this before the tournament started were like sky high. Like this course is going to be awesome. Like all this stuff's going to be great. And I was really pleased with the bunkers and how like, again, how they were hazards. Like guys didn't want to get into them. So I thought that was a good little twist. Like we saw Xander on that one hole hit it like 3 times. He couldn't get it out of that bunker.
Sure did.
We saw a couple other guys get plugged in like the face of them where they grew the grass like the fescue that high. So I thought that was good. I thought it was good that it got baked out, but with no wind and those guys being able to hit it as straight and as far as they do, like being baked out just gives them 50 yards a roll on a 320 drive. So,
Well, even on USOpen.com, I mean, they had I watched every whole like kind of flyby before this tournament even started, and they're throwing golf balls like, hey, if you hit it here on the fairway, you're gonna roll into the rough. I mean, it was underwhelming.
Yeah. Listen,
Bottom
this
line,
is a whole nother discussion, but like I think it also just gets into the fact that these guys can hit it so far and so straight and with such little spin.
Yeah.
Like if that whole like tournament ball that the USGA proposed actually becomes a thing, it's probably a very different golf course. You know, guys probably aren't reaching that, like aren't hitting 6 irons into par 5s.
Well,
and things like that.
The roll these things get out of the golf ball is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like there's no situation where the golf ball should be rolling 60 yards.
Yeah. But I mean, it's fine if you're only hitting it 270 or 280.
Yeah. Right.
Like when you're carry, I saw one of Rory's drives carried 328.
Yeah.
Like carried.
Yeah.
Like then roll, like a 40-yard roll is not okay. You know what I mean? Like that's not okay. But if you're only hitting it 285, okay, fine. But that makes a big difference. Like, that makes a huge difference. So I thought the golf course was just okay.
Yeah, we're all kind of in agreement that overall it was a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
Last week.
Mm-hmm.
From a golf course standpoint.
Yeah.
So now we have one major left.
That's right. Anyone else that you wanted to talk about that stuck out to you or anything like that? Anything else from the week that stuck out to you that you wanted to talk about?
Not particularly. There wasn't that much going on. I mean, you know, I don't know if as smooth as he looked the first 3 days. I don't know. I don't know if I expected Ricky to kind of blow up like he did.
Yeah.
That was a little surprising, I think. And then we spoke about Rory. You know, it's surprising, but it's not of how lackadaisical his final round looks. You know, I think before we leave the golf course, you know, I think Josh has a few. Did you see all the rules and some of the stipulations for this place that maybe the average viewer or listener might not?
I did, but give them to me.
No, give us some highlights here, Josh.
So LACC seems like a more exclusive club than Augusta would be.
It's close.
It's very close. So just to start, $250,000 initiation fee, which is LA, whatever. That's probably pennies. But no celebrities or social media posts.
Yeah.
So no celebrities. So that's just and what dictates a celebrity, right?
So I think they are letting in like actors, but they didn't for a very long time. Like for a very long time, it was like business guys only. You know what I mean? Like studio execs, like people like that. And I think they just did start letting act because I think Steph Curry has like an LACC membership. You know what I mean? So like it's selective, let's say. I don't know what they consider a celebrity, but like let's just say it's selective. It's a selective process.
Let's see what else here. So 320 acres. So 45-year-old tax loophole to save $80 million annually. Land is appraised at $8 billion. And they're paying $222,000 a year in property tax.
Yeah. I mean, you can see downtown LA like from the holes, like it's crazy.
Right in the center of Beverly Hills.
Right. Some of the houses around it are worth $100 million. Like
more than the property taxes on what they're paying.
Yeah, right.
No shorts, tailored pants only, so you're not going into grandpa's closet and putting on the biggest pair of pants you got. You know, the phone policy is interesting to me. They have you can only make phone calls from your parked car in the parking lot, and you can only make phone calls from the phone booths in the men's clubhouse. So that's another thing too. So maybe that's a good thing. Like, hey, sorry, babe, I'm going to play around golf. Don't,
right.
I want to use my phone. Let's see what else here. Yeah, I think that was really what stood out to me the most. Is just, the fact that they're paying $220,000 in property tax annually on an $8 billion appraised piece of land was one of those things where it blows my mind. No social media, so that's why it just gives me such an exclusive vibe to it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It was a lot of people went into this thinking that this is a chance for these members to show off their golf course, to let people in for the first time ever, and show off the golf course. And these guys were like, fuck that. We're just going to buy all the tickets and give them to our friends or give them to our companies that we own. Right? They were like, we're not having the riffraff come in here. So it was such a weird, and I think I heard somebody put it really well. It's like, this is our national championship. This is the United States Open. Like this is not something that's exclusive. Like people can qualify. Literally, Banksy could go out there and qualify for this tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
so why? Yeah. Why agree?
So then you're going to make it that
club
exclusive to the people who could literally walk off the street and make it into this tournament. And you're going to go out there and like try and buy up all the general admission tickets. Like, again, I think this comes down to, this is a deal that was made with these guys before the current commissioner, Mike Wan, got in there. Mike Wan isn't making this deal. Like Mike Wan doesn't walk up to LACC and be like, yeah, okay, guys, sure. You can do that. Like that doesn't happen. This deal was made before he was the USGA, like the head of the USGA. And it was just kind of scumbaggy. It was very like, keep those poor people out. And it made for like a weird vibe. It made for a weird tournament.
I mean, you look at the grandstands and it's like empty.
Yeah, they're empty.
Well, the best grandstand on 18 was a members only grandstand.
Oh my gosh.
Another reason.
Like that's what I mean. It was the biggest one there. It was a member only grandstand. It was weird. It was just a weird place.
Interesting, when this course is back on the schedule, I think within the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So we'll see if there's any changes.
I think there's going to have to be. Like I would think there has to be.
Yeah, they don't have a choice.
Yeah. If they want to host, like if they truly want to host it again, I don't think Juan lets them get away with it. They're not going to be able to like buy up all those tickets and all that.
And for how big on reputation that they seem to be, you can't do this again because it's just going to tank you even more.
But its reputation amongst a bunch of stuffy old white guys who are really rich. Like, they don't give a shit what you and I think about it. You know what I mean? They don't care what like the normal person thinks about it. Like, you think those guys care that we're like poo-pooing them for buying a bunch of tickets? They're like, no, this is my golf course and you're not going to see it. And that's how they live. Like, all right, cool guy. Like, great. But you're kind of a dick. Like, that's how it goes, man. But yeah, it was a weird one. I don't know. I think that's all you can really say is like, it was a weird one. And, where's it? Let's see where it's going next year. U.S. Open 2024. Pinehurst #2. All right. There's a course for the people. That'll be much better.
Yeah.
That'll be much better. So I think that will be fantastic.
Absolutely.
So that's at least something to look forward to. So, all right. Well, look, that's the third major of the year. We only got one left. We are getting there, man. Again, I think we really wish Rory could have pulled something off. All credit to Whyndam Clark for being able to go into his first kind of final round as the leader of US Open and be able to finish it off. He probably made the Ryder Cup from this win, and how he's been playing. So good for him. Hopefully he shows up and can play well in Rome. That'll be really cool to see, but we got one more of these and we'll look forward to Hoylake in a little while here. But anything else before we get out of here?
I got one more thing.
Yeah, please.
So what do you guys think that Jay Monahan's not feeling well with? What's this health issue?
Yeah.
Regret.
Talk about
The weight of the money pallet that they dropped on his chest hurt him too badly. Yeah, probably a little anxiety like induced heart palpitations.
Yeah. Talk about stuffy, sleazy white guys.
Again, if you want to hear our true thoughts on it, check out my reaction video that I put up on the YouTube channel. Check out pod number 59, where we go into the whole thing. We get into it there. We will continue to sort of discuss that as, like, again, the Congress is looking at it, the Senate's looking at it, the DOJ is looking at it. Like, there's not a lot of good indicators that this thing actually gets done yet. But as we know more and more, we'll continue to talk about that. But yeah, I think the money that they dropped on his chest kind of like caused something to maybe get a little pressure there.
Oh man.
Well, look, you boys enjoy your time down in the Outer Banks. One of these years, I'm making it there. I'm gonna figure it. We're gonna figure this out, and we're gonna get down there. But you guys playing any more golf? You're surely not done, right? You're playing some more golf down there?
Uncle Mitch is trying to swindle that one in, but we'll see.
Yeah, we played once. We usually, we can play usually once without getting in any kind of trouble.
Ah, come on. It's your vacation too.
Yeah,
I got out 3 times with my dad in 1 week when I went down there to Myrtle Beach.
Well, that's impressive. I don't know. We've never tried the double round. It's unprecedented territory here.
I had 3 different days. I didn't even double dip one day.
Gosh, I'm just a little nervous. What would happen? I don't know.
I'll get down there. We'll fix this golf schedule.
Yeah.
No man's land for us.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. That's true. I was just in Myrtle Beach, so we had access to a lot of places that were like just 20 minutes away or 10 minutes away and stuff like that. But all right, boys. Well, look, have fun. Tell Uncle Mitch I said hello. Tell everybody I said hello. Josh, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it. Good to see you again.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
And look, Banksy, obviously always a pleasure. So look, we have 47 subscribers. We need 3 more to reach our goal for the year. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, come on. What are you doing? It's free.
Come on.
It's a big red button. Just click it. You'll get the videos. You don't even have to look at them. Just subscribe. Like, just help us out. if you're not following or subscribe to us on your podcast platforms, just subscribe. You've been listening to all these. Like, why not? Just press the button. Leave us a comment. Leave us a rating. The ratings really help when people are searching golf podcasts. So I think that reaction video I did is up close to like 100 views on YouTube, which is wild.
Sweet. Well done.
So the more that you can share or leave us a rating, stuff like that, the more we get out there. So we appreciate, we appreciate everyone that listens. We appreciate everyone that texts or, lets us know that they're missing a week. We missed a week or missed an episode. We love you all. We appreciate your support. And look, we'll look forward to talking to you in about a week or so. So boys, enjoy your time. Have some fun. All right. Have a couple of drinks on me. And we'll catch you next week. All right. Have a good one,
Absolutely.
everybody.
Great talking to you. Swing hard,
Oh,
everyone.
it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.